All right, so we want to do 12.4, number 28, which is graph, more or less, right? This is probably a matching question, yeah? Okay, but let's just graph. F of x is 9 over 4 square root of x's, right? Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb and assume the problem is we don't know what the function that we're trying to draw looks like. Okay, so let me think. If I put an x in here, what do I do to it first? Yeah, I should square root it. You guys all see that? If I fed 9 in here, the first thing I would do is square root 9.
Maybe 3.
I'd get 3, and then what do I do with the 3? Yeah, multiply by 9, and then maybe divide by 4, or multiply by 9 quarters. Cool. So the thing I start with is next. The thing I end up with is 9 quarters root x, right? So this whole process is my f, right? You guys see that? No? Okay. So if I see this, which of these do I know how to do, and which one of them is a shifting thing?
Do you know how to do 9 over 4 rise over 4?
Yeah, I could do 9 over 4 as a rise over run, right? But this thing's not a shifting, right? If I thought I knew how to do this thing, could I think about that as like a shift or a stretch or a flip or something? What is it? Yeah, it's a stretch. So if this was the rule I knew about, right? Then this is happening before or after? After, right? Okay, so this is after, which means it's a
Horizontal shift.
horizontal?
Change. No, I'm sorry, vertical.
It's a vertical change, right? Okay, so it's vertical. And then I have to remember, is multiplying a shift, stretch, or flip? It's a stretch, right? You guys see that? It might be a compression, but it's some kind of a mushing, right? It's not a shift because it's not addition. How would I get a flip?
Negative.
Yeah, I'd need a negative sign, right? So this is some kind of vertical stretching or something. You guys all see that? But to do this, I need to know what this guy looks like. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, they gave me a picture of it?
And you're
Okay.
supposed to match them up to which picture?
Okay, so let's get a picture for square root of x. So I'm looking for x and root x, right? So to draw a picture, I might start with a table. Okay, so can we fill in the table?
Let's do 4 and 2.
Okay, 0,
1, 2.
1, wow, how
No.
did my table
Let's
set up?
not do those numbers.
0, 1,
Negative 1.
negative 1,
2.
2, negative 2?
Sure.
Those are your favorite 5.
Go with the generic.
Favorite 5 points, right? Okay, so what's square root do? What do I think when I look at this?
Thank you.
That's what squaring does, right? Squaring multiplies by itself, so what does square rooting do? Yeah, it unmultiplies by itself, right? So I wonder what number has number times number equals x, right? You guys see that's what the question square root of x asks? Yes. So what's the number that I multiply by itself to get 0?
0.
0. What's the number I multiply by itself to get 1? 1. What's the number I multiply by itself to get negative 1? What?
Skip it.
No comprehende.
Yeah, this is kind of a no comprehende situation, right? Why?
Because negative.
Yeah, negatives can't fit in a square root is one way of looking. I can't get a negative out of squaring is another way to look, right? Either way, this thing's not in the wait, not in the what? Square root does, so right now I'm trying to feed something into the square root, right? So this is a unallowed input or output?
Input.
Input, which means it's not in the
Output.
Output.
It's on the domain.
It's not in the domain. You guys see that? So there's a problem. This thing here, not in domain. In fact, none of the negatives are in the domain, right? So what does that let me cross out right away?
-2.
Yeah, I can cross out all the negative 2's, or all the negative numbers, specifically also -2, right? How about 2? What do I square to get 2? What do I multiply by itself to get 2?
Square root of 2.
Ha, good answer. That's going to be a problem, right? Because I'm supposed to draw a picture, yeah? I have ticks on my picture like this, right? Okay, so some of these I can draw, right? 0, 0, where's that go? Right in the middle? Over 0, up 0, right? How about 1, 1? By 1, 1.
1, 1.
Over 1, up 1? Okay, how about 2 root 2? Over 2, up root 2? Right? I don't know where that one sits because I don't know how big root 2 is off the top of my head. So this one's not doing me a lot of good in terms of picture worthiness, right? So what's a better point I could pick?
4.
Oh, I could put 4 in. What do I get out of 4?
2.
2. Ah, okay.
With the 2, sorry, would you say it's undefined, or will you just ignore it and move to something you could
This
use?
guy?
Yeah.
This isn't undefined. This is right.
It is right? Okay.
This is a point that's going to be on there, but I don't know how to put this one on there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This isn't a failure of the math. This is a failure of the equipment in my head.
All of our heads, I suppose?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what this number is off the top of my head. I can cram it in a calculator and put a dot in about the right spot,
Okay.
right? But I don't know how to get the right spot exactly.
But you can just change your
But this spot,
We'll just change the number.
I can get the right spot for sure. And then I can connect the dots and we'll see that one. This is actually one of the methods you could use to estimate the square root of something. So I've got 4, 2. What does that mean should go on my picture? Yeah, over 4 up 2. So I go over 4 up 2 here. And I should draw my line, right? So it's something like this. We haven't gotten to that. Right now we're drawing this, right? So this is not the picture of f. This is a picture of square root of x. You guys all see that? And actually we could estimate root 2 off of this. We go to root 2, we see it here. And we follow it over and we realize it's about 1.5. You guys see that? It's pretty close. It's really 1.4 something. Cool? Okay, so here's my picture of root x. Now I want to draw my function f, right? So what was f in terms of root x? It's a stretch or a compression by a factor of 9/4. Is 9/4 bigger than 1, in which case it's a stretch, or smaller than 1, in which case it's a compression?
2 1/4 bigger.
9/4 is bigger than 1?
Yeah.
9/4 is smaller than 1?
Bigger.
Nobody's going to own that.
Bigger.
9/4 is bigger than
1.
2, in fact, right?
Well, isn't that also bigger than 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, you're right.
Okay.
Okay, so if I stretch this thing up by 9/4, where does 0, 0 go?
Up to ish.
It's
0.
here.
Stays right there.
Why does 0, 0 stay?
Multiplying by 0.
Because this is a stretch, right? I'm multiplying the y by 9/4. So when I multiply 0 by 9/4, I get
Bigger 0.
0.
I like that.
Bigger 0 might
Bigger.
be, yeah, sure.
Bigger dot.
So how about this guy? This is 1, 1. Where does that end up?
Up
Yeah, 1 comma 9/4, right? 9/4 is 2 1/4, so I should go 1, 2, 2 1/4. How about this guy? Wait, that one's confusing, right? So that's supposed to be 2√2, right?
No, that was your,
Yeah, that was 2
oh yeah, that was 2,
2.
yeah, sorry.
So how about 4? 4, 2, right? That's this guy. Or does that end up after I stretch?
Yonder.
Plus 2 1/4. So it'd be 4 1/4.
No.
Maybe 8.
So remember, you're multiplying, not adding. So I'm wondering, what's 2 times 9/4? 18/4 is 9/2, which I might think of as 4.5,
Right.
right? So this goes from 4.2 to 4.5. So maybe go up here. Oops, that's 4. Oops, a little higher. Is it about right?
Yeah, you're fine.
If I keep redrawing it, will
No,
the
not
picture
there.
get better?
Yeah,
A little
yeah,
lower.
it's got a little bit smaller, but okay.
Okay, so here's my new picture. Oh, and then I missed it anyway. So what's the label on this picture?
Just make the dot bigger.
Just make it, yeah, make the dot bigger.
No, just move the dot. Move the dot.
Whatever,
It's easier.
whatever works for you.
Is that open business too?
Okay, so yeah, just move the target.
Okay.
Businesses do that. Don't hold your breath. Okay, so what's the label on the blue thing?
Crazy line.
It's crazy line, which is also called F
For fantastic.
for fantastic.
Freaking
Not the F word you wanted for this one. Does this make sense? So what did we learn? We learned a new function. So hilariously, in all 3 classes, in all 3 sections of this class, let's look at some homework questions from chapter 12. You've all learned different functions. So like the evening class, they know about absolute value.
Right.
You guys know about root x. The morning class learned about cubing and cube root of x. So this is what we do. We add a little bit of vocabulary, and then once we know the basic word, right, this root x thing, now I can know all the stretches, compressions, flips, and movements of root x. You guys see that? But we have to learn the basics on each of these. Cool? Questions on this one? Everybody got that the blue thing was the answer? Cool.